Hi, I'm Damien. Today I want to share some ideas about a particular IELTS speaking card. Today's card is: describe a sport that you have only watched before but have never played yourself. You should address the following points. Firstly, what it is, when you watched it, where you watched it, who you watched it with, and explain how you felt about it. So as usual, let's think of a few ideas. Maybe the first sport could be cricket. It's a bat and ball game that's popular in many countries, especially in England, Australia and India. Maybe you watched it during the last Cricket World Cup at a sports bar with a big screen. And maybe you were with a group of friends who are cricket enthusiasts. And you'd find it fascinating and thrilling, particularly enjoying the strategy and the skill involved. Idea number two could be something like figure skating, a sport where individuals or pairs perform on ice, combining artistry and athleticism. You might have watched it during the Winter Olympics on the television at home, maybe with your family who are fans of the Winter Olympics. And you might be mesmerised by the elegance and precision of the skaters and felt inspired by their grace and dedication. Idea number three could be something like American football. It's a contact sport known for its complex strategy, and it's physically and primarily played in the United States. You might have watched it during the Super Bowl at a friend's Super Bowl party with a mixture of friends and acquaintances, many of whom are avid football fans. You might be intrigued by the intensity and tactical depth of the game, and you might enjoy the communal experience of watching such a major event. So now we have a few ideas, it's time for a sample answer with a good range of grammar and vocabulary. I've chosen to talk about cricket. Cricket is a fascinating sport that I have only watched but never played myself. It's a bat and ball game that is extremely popular in many countries, particularly in England, Australia and India. The first time I watched a cricket match was during the last Cricket World Cup, an event that brings together the best teams from around the globe to compete for the ultimate prize. I watched the match at a lively sports bar with a big screen, which was the perfect setting to fully immerse myself in the excitement of the game. The atmosphere was electric, filled with passionate fans cheering and celebrating each play. I was accompanied by a group of friends who were cricket enthusiasts, and their enthusiasm was contagious, making the experience even more enjoyable. One of the things that struck me about cricket was the strategy and the skill involved. The players demonstrate unbelievable precision and remarkable agility, both in batting and in fielding. The tension built up over each over, and the outcome of the game could change in the blink of an eye, which kept me on the edge of my seat. Moreover, watching the game with my friends made it even more memorable experience. They explained the rules and the nuances of the game, which helped me to appreciate the intricacies of cricket. We shared many laughs, especially when someone would passionately debate a referee's decision or a player's performance. I found the entire experience extremely enjoyable and truly thrilling. It was utterly fascinating to see the level of dedication and skill that the players brought to the game. Cricket, with its rich history and global appeal, left a lasting impression on me. Although I have never played it myself, watching cricket has given me a deep respect for the sport and its athletes. Thank you. So there we go, a 2-minute speech that includes a decent range of grammar and vocab that should allow for a high band score. The grammar and vocabulary will be included in the transcript of the video, and please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel for more IELTS videos, or visit my website PassIELTSPlus.com to book a one-to-one lesson. Hope to see you soon. Thank you. Goodbye.